That was a wild game. That was an absolutely wild game. And I will obviously talk about the Angel Reese double-double situation at some stage. This game right here, it looked like Angel Reese did a great job to a point on Napheesa Collier. I'll talk about it a little bit later because I didn't watch the game. I'm not going to lie. I didn't watch the game, and I do want to watch the game before I want to talk about that game. But congratulations to Angel Reese for breaking the double-double record. And again, for you guys, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. If we can hit like 14.5k by the end of today, that would be absolutely insane. Like, or even 14.4. We're like 48 off that, which is crazy. And obviously on stream, there's 1,500 of you guys. If we can get to 14.4k on the stream, that would be even crazier. But anyway, so looking at this game right here, it was a really good game. And I got to give credit where credit's due to Kelsey Mitchell for doing a great job on Cat Copper. So Cat Copper is one of the best scorers in the WNBA right now. And Kelsey Mitchell had her best defensive game on Copper. But obviously Copper's goal was to guard Caitlin Clark. She was so exhausted guarding Caitlin Clark that one of the best scorers in the world, a Team USA player averaging 23 points a game, went 3 of 15. That's what happens when your job is to pick up Caitlin Clark full court. For the Phoenix Mercury, Brittany Griner was exceptional. She was absolutely exceptional today. She should have been thrown out of the game early with the face push. She should have 100% been thrown out of the game early. But it doesn't matter that what should have happened. The reality is she killed it. Breanna Taurasi shot the ball, I thought, pretty well. She hit some big shots down the stretch. And I'm not going to lie, I thought they were going to win the game on the Taurasi flop. Late on in the game, she just jumped on the ground and got 2 free throws. She goes 1 of 2 from the line. And then, well, the rest is history. The rest is history. Natasha Cloud, I thought Caitlin Clark did a really good job of guarding Natasha Cloud till the end. And she was that, like, she kind of dropped the shoulder for a huge possession down a stretch, but she was smart enough to see that Melissa Smith was out of position, went to drop the shoulder. Sophie Cunningham hit a huge 3, but like this is one of the biggest cheap shot artists in the WNBA. She swung an elbow and got away with it. She got away with it. They teed up 4 people and didn't tee up the person who threw the elbow. But that is it for the Mercury team. Now we're going to talk about the Indiana Fever. And got to give credit where credit's due. This was the best game probably Chrissy Wallace has played. Because, and in fairness, she couldn't guard Taurasi. Taurasi cooked her, but she didn't do anything wrong. She didn't really do anything wrong. So you give credit where credit's due to that. She did not do anything wrong at all. And for we're gonna gamify this, lads. For you, some of you guys, let's see if by the end of this video what we can get to. We're gonna gamify this. But Melissa Smith, I thought offensively was really good. She had 12 points. She had 15 boards. She's just not that defender that you would like. The problem is with Melissa Smith is that she always turns her body and goes for blocks. She's not the backdoor shot blocker. She never gets in like the right position defensively. Aaliyah Boston, I thought a really good game. I thought Aaliyah Boston was really good. I think had like a 14-2 lead early on in the game for Phoenix Mercury. I think after that the Fever were the better team. I think the Fever started off terribly. But the big problem with the way the game started was it took 5 minutes for Chrissy Sides to call a timeout. And they started off with Natasha Cloud guarding Aaliyah Boston. And it took 5 minutes for them to realize. So what they were doing they were switching screens. So Natasha Cloud was switching on to Caitlin Clark off that screen to completely nullify the pick and roll. After the first timeout call, they went to Aaliyah Boston the post. She got a couple of scores. And I think that had she been given the ball a little bit early, she would have been dominant inside. Their entire off defense, they put Brittany Griner a lot of time and Melissa Smith. They were willing to let Aaliyah Boston go off, and it did not work for them in the end. Erica Wheeler played well. Erica Wheeler, I felt, played really, really well in that game. She did very little wrong. I thought she was solid. Katie Lou could not hit a shot, but hit one of the biggest threes in the game down the stretch. So give credit where credit's due. And she drew the flagrant foul by getting caught around the neck, which was a good thing. I thought Temi came on, even though she was minus 11. I thought Temi brought some energy. I thought Temi had a good game. Lexi Hull in the 4 minutes she played, I didn't think did too badly. She didn't do anything. I know it was minus 7, but I didn't think her individually did well. And now we're talking about the 2 players that stole the show. Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell. My God. Like, this is like, when I say all the time that Kelsey Mitchell's a gunner, and you take the good with the bad with Kelsey Mitchell, she could give you a 4-minute spell where she's the best player on the floor, and then she could stink it up for the rest of the game. I've never seen a bigger discrepancy. Kelsey Mitchell played 5. And I mean, 5 minutes in the first half. Kelsey Mitchell came in and absolutely took over that game. She took over the game at like a level where she was just unguardable. She goes and hits an and one in Sophie Cunningham's face to take the lead for the first time. Then they go and get a 2. I think they hit 2 free throws. Then she goes into pull-up mid-range shot. And then right before that, she caught a wide-open 3. I think, she have 2 points in the first half? Might not have scored in the first half. Ended with 16 points. Like, with Kelsey Mitchell, you take the good with the bad. She is a gunner. She is an absolute gunner. She is a scorer. She's one of the better scorers in this league. Does she do anything else most of the time? No. But she got some steals. She actually played pretty good defense today. She played pretty good defense, I felt, in this game today. And look, she came from a 5-minute first half where she had been iced by Christy Sides to having her best second half. And then we got to talk about Caitlin Clark. Shooting-wise, not her best game. But again, like, a lot of people are going to be hyped about Breanna Taurasi's game. Because, like, look, she was 2 of 10, 4 of 14. Breanna Taurasi was 5 of 12, or Breanna Taurasi was 5 of 14, 2 of 10, like hit 1 extra shot. But Caitlin Clark today, I thought was absolutely exceptional when it came to running the show. Like, I know she ended the game with 6 turnovers. I think she had 6 in the first half, I'm not going to lie. But literally, like 1 rebound off a triple-double. Like, if she had gotten the 10th rebound, I wouldn't have cared. It wouldn't have affected her game. If she'd been on the floor in those last possessions, she would have gotten the 10th rebound. Again, it doesn't matter. I'm always somebody that says whether somebody gets 10, 10, and 10 or 9, 9, and 9. I don't care. People will, one of them is a triple-double and people will celebrate. The other people will laugh and call it triple-single. I don't care about the numbers. I care about the game. Caitlin Clark shot the ball terribly well today. She had more open shots today than anywhere else, any other game, and she took a couple of bad shots. She hit major, and I mean major shots in this game. There were 2 times in this game where the Fever were down big and pulled their way back in. Started the second quarter, and then the third quarter when they went on the run. Everything came from Caitlin Clark. There was a situation where Caitlin Clark either scored or assisted on like 14 straight points. And it's the tempo that this team plays at. I'm going to talk about it more in something else. I'm not really going to talk about the breakdown in this game. But when this team can play at tempo, they're getting stops. And I really, really like it in the third quarter. There was a possession where Phoenix scored. They didn't even, like, there was no slowdown. It was literally like Phoenix scored, inbound, 1 foot out, throw it to Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark 2 dribbles, hits Christy Wallace for a wide open layup. The Phoenix didn't even get back after a score. It was incredibly impressive. It was incredibly impressive right there. And like 12 assists for Caitlin Clark. Thank you so much for the $2. Really appreciate it. But he was saying 44-28. Was that the amount of points that she was responsible for? 44 of 88? Wouldn't be surprised. And also, this doesn't show up on the stat sheet. Caitlin Clark threw 5 to 6 passes into fouls. They're not an assist on the score sheet, but when she was hitting players under the basket and they're getting fouled, they hit the 2 free throws, the points all still count. So they don't show up on the stat sheet. They don't show up in your assists box score numbers. But in reality, 5 into fouls. Like, that is worth 15, 16 assists. That was the best playmaking game I've seen. And look, you've got Natasha Cloud, who people are talking about, oh, she's the best playmaking, she's the real playmaking guard, like, she's the best point guard. No. The best point guard in this league right now is Caitlin Clark. The shooting isn't there. The shooting's not there yet. And today she shot a lot of bad shots. She was trying to do what she did in college. But she is the best pass first point guard in the league. The pick and rolls with her in Boston are nearly unguardable. Her in transition is completely unguardable. And that was a game where Caitlin Clark had 2 unbelievable spells. 2 unbelievable spells in that game and was quiet the rest of the game. But it really doesn't matter. So, what a game. What a game right there. In general, that is a passing a torch moment. And obviously, by the time Caitlin Clark had been finished interviewed, for everybody saying, oh, will they embrace each other? When Caitlin Clark finishes the interview and starts walking towards the Phoenix bench, when some of the players on the floor, Taurasi's already out of there. Taurasi's already out of there.